This in their own words. Coming up, two survivors join us with an inside look at the real ARGO.
Now, the big question, what's outside? We're not sure if we're going to see people come running in at us or what.
It was kind of a moment you hold your breath and just hope.
Went out a back exit.
Where are they? The Canadian ambassador's house.
Got Revolutionary Guards going door to door. These people die. They die badly. White House? Who wants the 6 of them out?
What we like for this are bicycles.
Deliver the 6 bikes, provide them with maps.
Or you could just send in training wheels and meet them at the border with Gatorade.
It's gonna take a miracle to get them out.
And a miracle is exactly what they got. That is from the Academy Award-winning thriller. It was called ARGO, based on the true story of American diplomats rescued from Iran after the 1979 hostage crisis. And now some of those who lived through it are sharing their stories with the show Locked Up Abroad, which airs on the National Geographic Channel.
Hard to feel much better than we felt at that moment, I think. We were home free.
And we all ordered a round of drinks. And Tony raised his glass, and we raised our glasses to him, and he said, "Argo."
Mr. Argo.
Argo.
That's Cora and Mark Lyjek joining in a toast as they fly to safety, and they now join us live. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Cora, I'd like to start with you. You were just 25 years old when all of this happened. Take us back to that day, November 4th, 1979, to the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. When did you know that you were in trouble?
Well, actually about 9:30, a couple of our local employees came back from taking a break, and apparently they'd been chased when they were outside, and they told us there were people all over the compound. Our building was further back, so we actually didn't see the attack or the people coming over the fences.
But what did you hear? Did you hear anything going on at the time?
No, we didn't hear anything. It was a 26-acre compound, quite large, so we did not see or hear any of the activity at the front. But the Marine immediately got those of us who worked on the first floor up to the second floor while he contacted the main building to find out what was going on.
Yeah, and Corey, you said it was a kind of a moment that you hold your breath.
Well, I think that was when we were going to leave the building several hours later, when we were about to go out on the street and we weren't sure what was waiting for us on the other side of the door.
Mark, why did you decide to share your story with National Geographic?
Well, primarily because even though Argo is a terrific film, I've seen it 6 times, I really like it, but it is a slice. It's basically the Tony Mendez story, and there's a lot more to our adventure than just the departure that Tony orchestrated, and I wanted that story to be known, the other parts, the other players, the Canadians in particular, that I think were a little bit shortchanged in Argo.
And Mark, specifically, you talk about the time between when you left the embassy and you took refuge at the Canadian diplomat's residence. What happened in that span of time? Because it really isn't addressed in the movie.
And that's very true, and that is, for me, that was the scariest time. We were on our own for basically 6 days. We spent a night here, a night there, one night with the British at their compound, but then they put us back on the street in the house of a hostage, which was a very uncomfortable place to be. And it was during that week that our senior guy, Bob Anders, called his good Canadian friend John Sheardown and made the contact that eventually saved us. And of course, none of that is mentioned in the movie. But we talk about it a lot on the Locked Up Abroad episode.
Eventually you had, 3 days to become this Hollywood film crew and take over these new identities. Do you remember specifics about each identity that you both became today?
Yes, I was a scriptwriter on the play, and my name was Teresa Harris. We had birth dates, and I actually was born in Vancouver, BC, and I now live about 2 hours away from there.
Well, thank you.
I also...
Yeah? Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, they made it easy for us. For example, my birthday was, and my name, actually, first and middle, were my father-in-law's. So that was a clue, you know, an easy thing to remember, relatively.
Well, we are so glad that you and the others made it out safely. It really is a remarkable story. Argo was a great movie, but I have a feeling that your real-life story is going to be even more amazing. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Locked Up Abroad, the real airs tomorrow, May 5th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the National Geographic Channel, and we will be right back.